Hey guys, it's Christy and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me. Today we're going to be trying on some of the makeup I picked up during Black Friday sales. So before we get into it, I hope you'll consider subscribing to my channel before you leave. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy, and let's get into it. Alright, so I'm just going to pin the hair back, and I don't quite have a full face. Again, one of the bronzers from my Huda order was missing, and then I'm still expecting a couple of packages, but I'm way too impatient. Right into it, I'm going to be using the foundation. I have used this a few times so far and I do quite like it. Not as much as some of my others, but I do like it nonetheless. I have already primed my face and done my brows because I don't have anything new for that. Yeah, so like I mentioned, I do still have a couple orders coming in. I have 2 Sigma orders coming in, and then I have 1 palette from ColourPop, and they all have eyeshadows. So I figured we can really do the try on without those, and then I can just play with those as they come in, whether I incorporate them into a video or whatever I decide to do. And I actually did use my Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter as sort of like a priming layer, and I really like how it works with this foundation in particular. It looks really, really nice. I think I forgot how much I like the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter. I've been meaning to try the new e.l.f. product that is supposed to be a dupe. I have not yet. Just adding a little extra on the cheeks and around the nose. And I'm just gonna take a little bit of my NARS Soft Matte Concealer to cover up some breakouts. This is really the best concealer ever for spot concealing. It is so good. This foundation really did blend out really nicely. I'm also just gonna grab my Pat McGrath concealer for under the eyes. I really would like to see a bit more of a high coverage foundation from Pat McGrath. I really do like this one. I think it's really nice, and I love it especially with the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter, but I would like to see one with slightly more coverage. Like, this foundation is very, very liquidy, and it's definitely a more medium coverage, whereas I feel like the concealer that I'm using right now is so much coverage. I do like this concealer a lot though. It's really covering that inner corner. I think I forgot to mention I have the foundation in Light 2 and I have the concealer in L1, so just a shade lighter. And the foundation shade is a pretty perfect match for me. I think I'm just gonna grab my Pat McGrath under eye setting powder just to keep it all in the family. And I'm just gonna set my under eyes. Typically I do my eyes first, but with the palette I'm using today, I don't think I need to. Okay, for bronzer, this is not a new product, but it's definitely been one of my favorites. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Sun-Kissed Glow Bronzer. I have been using this so much. When I first got this bronzer, I thought I liked it, but it wasn't gonna be a favorite, and that's completely not true. It's definitely a favorite. I love how moussey it is. I feel like it just applies so nicely. I do have this in the shade Fair, and I just love the way it's so neutral. It's not too deep, it's not too warm, it's not pulling orange. Just adds such a pretty tone to the skin, so I love that. Next I'm going to do my highlight, and I'm going to go in with the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Beauty Light Wand in Spotlight. So I did pick up a duo. I do have the blush as well, but I have another blush that I want to try today. So I'm just gonna do this before I do my blush. And I kind of do see the hype with these wands. They're just so easy. I love how easy they blend out, especially with the finger. I do not like doing my makeup with my fingers, but these do blend out really well. I love that there's no glitter. They just look really pretty on the skin. So yes, I do think these are phenomenal. I will say I don't necessarily think the set that she came out with for holiday is worth it unless you're getting a discount on the set. I think these are really, really exceptionally tiny. So I do think there are maybe some products that are a little more worth it than these. Like, these are just very, very small, and I think you'd be upset to pay full price for the set. So for blush, I did pick up 2 shades of the Glowish blushes. I picked up this shade, Caring Coral and Berry Juicy. Today I'm going to go in with Caring Coral just because it's a little bit lighter. So very, very pretty. Just picking up a little bit of that. It almost looks like a cream in the pan. Okay, it's pretty pigmented actually. I wasn't expecting that. It didn't look like my brush was picking up a ton, but definitely was. That's really pretty. That is very, very pretty. I'm very pleasantly surprised. I do think that was the right shade choice today as well. Okay, I like that. The only thing that I kind of feel bad about is that I've already filmed my blush ranking for the year, so these won't be in it. This does seem really good so far though. I will be giving you guys an update on these in my speed reviews at the end of the month, so you at least will get an update. It's just a bit too late to be in my year-end ranking, unfortunately. Okay, I am very, very happy with how my base turned out, but I think I need something on my lips. So we're gonna use the Huda Beauty cream lipstick, the Power Bullet in the shade Honey Bun. This was part of my haul, and I'm gonna line with my Lip Contour 2.0 in Honey Beige. This is new, this is not, but they do go really well together. Okay, just popping on the lipstick. This is just gonna be a really pretty nudie pink. It feels very delicate, like I feel like I'm gonna break it when I'm swiping it on. It's a really pretty color though. It's very, very creamy. I like that, but I do feel like it's just gonna break. There's something about it that doesn't feel very sturdy. This shade is very pretty. It's very comfortable on the lips. So I did already prime my eyes with my MAC paint pot, and we're gonna be playing with the Natasha Denona Biba palette. So I know this has been out for years at this point, but I've wanted it for years, and I got it half off during the Sephora sale, so we have to play with this. I have played with it once so far, and I liked it, so we're gonna have to do something a little bit different. So here is the beautiful, beautiful palette, and I think I'm gonna do a halo eye today because that's just what I'm in the mood for. So I am gonna take a BK Beauty A503, and I'm just gonna go into the shade Tusk. I know this is a very, very light shade. You might not be able to see it, but I do think it will be able to add like a really nice base for the shadows. And I do think this is a very neutral palette. I don't think there's a lot that you can really do, but it is the perfect neutral palette. Okay, then I think I'm gonna take the shade Freckle, and I'm just gonna put that in the crease and bring it into my inner corner. Okay, I think from there, I'm gonna go into the shade Cocoa, and I'm gonna again deepen the outer corner and kind of deepen the inner corner as well. This brush is really good for doing the detail work on the inner corner. This is the BK Beauty A504, and it's just tiny enough that it really gets into that inner corner, and it's fluffy enough that it's not putting down too much pigment. I'm going in with a slightly bigger brush to do the outer corner, and just being careful to leave the center blank. Just to deepen things up just a little bit more, I think I'm going to take the shade Seed with that A504, and I'm going to use that on both the inner and outer corner. But I'm just going to be really careful about my placement. I don't want this too deep, so I'm just making sure to hold my brush at the end and be very delicate with my placement. So I think I'm gonna take the shade Shine, and I'm gonna take that on a finger, and I'm gonna put that directly in the center of my lid. I think that's gonna be really, really pretty. One thing I'm wishing about this palette just a little bit is that there was maybe a couple more shimmers. Like, oh, of course, these neutral pretty shimmers, but I do wish that maybe there was a couple more, because there really isn't a ton to work with shimmer-wise. But that's just my personal preference. I do think what is in here is beautiful. I do think this is a palette anybody would love to reach for daily if you like neutrals. Okay, I think I'm gonna grab a brush, and I'm just gonna go into Rustic, and I just want to lightly use that where that middle shimmer meets the mattes, just to kind of combine everything together, just to make the transition look a little more seamless. And I think I'm just going to take a little bit of a Monroe, and I'm going to dab that right in the very center. That's pretty. That's what I was looking for. Yes, that really gives that spotlight effect. Yes, I'm very happy with that. Let me pop off camera. I'm gonna pop on some mascara and I will be right back with my final thoughts. All right, guys, so here is the final look. I really like the way it turned out. So let's talk about the new products. So this foundation I have really been enjoying. I think it's beautiful. I love the coverage. And what I noticed today is that I really like how it pairs with the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter. So I will definitely continue to use this. I do like that it gives a very skin-like finish. It's definitely a little more on the lighter coverage side than I would prefer. It's a medium coverage, but definitely lighter than I would typically go for. However, I think it's absolutely beautiful on the skin. So I'm really gonna enjoy this. The Glowish Blush. I really liked how this applied to my skin especially. So this kind of looks like a cream in the pan, so I wasn't really sure how it was gonna work out. I was definitely surprised by how much I picked up on the brush. I didn't think I was picking up much, but then I applied it to my face and it looks really nice. So I'm really happy with this one. This is the shade Caring Coral. I'm gonna have to try out the other shades soon, and I cannot wait till my bronzer comes in, because if it's anything like this blush, I think I might really enjoy it. I'm just sad that I've already filmed my blush ranking for the year, so this won't be in there, but there's always next year. And for the lips, we tried out the Huda Beauty Power Bullet Cream Lipstick in Honey Bun. This is a perfect pinky nude shade. It looks so pretty on the lips. The one thing I'm not sure of is that it doesn't feel the most sturdy. I feel like I'm going to break the bullet if I roll it up a little bit too far and apply it, so I just want to be careful with that. However, I think the bullet looks really pretty, very sleek, and I love the very creamy finish. This looks really pretty. You do not need a gloss on top of this formula, so I do really like this. As for the Biba palette, she's so beautiful. This is definitely the perfect neutral palette. It is perfect. I really love it. I love how my look turned out today. I think it looks super pretty. I can't wait to be playing with a lot more shades in this palette. I just think it's so everyday friendly that how can I not reach for this more? So I really do love it. I just don't understand why some of these palettes have to be these size. Her midi palettes are the perfect size, and while still very expensive, a lot more accessibly priced than these. I feel like this totally could have been a midi, but that's just me. Overall, love this palette. Can't wait to continue playing with it. And that is it for the new products I tried out today. Let me know down below what you think. I can't wait to get the rest of these products in and share them with you guys. So thank you so much as always for watching. I appreciate it so much. If you're new here, I hope you'll consider subscribing before you go. I do upload at least 3 new videos every single week. Thank you again so very much for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!